That burner grate you've been scrubbing for 20 minutes, you're doing it completely wrong. I'm not saying that to be rude, I'm saying it because I watched my grandfather spend 40 years cleaning restaurant kitchens. My father spent 30 years doing the same, and the first thing both of them told me was this: scrubbing grease is a losing fight. Grease doesn't respond to elbow grease, it responds to chemistry. And today, I'm going to show you the exact $2 method we use on commercial stovetops, the ones that haven't been properly cleaned in months, that lifts baked-on grease and carbon buildup without a single scrub. You'll need 2 things from your pantry and 1 thing from any grocery store. That's it. Let's talk about what you're actually dealing with when you look at a dirty stove burner. Because most people think the problem is just grease. It's not. Grease is only the first layer. Here's what actually happens every time you cook. Oil and fat hit a hot surface. They splatter. Some of it lands on your burner grates, your burner caps, the little ceramic or metal disc that sits right on top of the burner, and your drip bowls. In that moment, the grease is still liquid, still easy to wipe, but you don't wipe it. Nobody does. Nobody wipes their stove after every single meal. That's not realistic. So the grease sits there. The next time you cook, heat hits it again. That grease starts to polymerize, which is a chemistry word for it bonds to the metal and turns into something completely different. It gets darker, harder. It starts to look like burned plastic. Then cooking residue, food particles, starch from boiling water, sugars from sauces, lands on top of that polymerized grease. Heat hits it again. Now that residue caramelizes and turns to carbon, black, hard rock carbon. So what you're actually looking at on your burner grate is a 3-layer problem. Layer 1, fresh grease, still slightly tacky. Layer 2, polymerized oil, hard and brownish black. Layer 3, carbonized food residue, the hard black crust. And here's why scrubbing doesn't work. A scrub brush or steel wool can remove layer 1 easily. It can scratch at layer 3, but layer 2, that polymerized oil, is chemically bonded to the metal surface. Physical force alone won't break it. You'd have to sand the metal itself to get it off that way. That's why you've scrubbed for 20 minutes and still see that brown-black residue. You're not doing anything wrong physically. The physics just aren't on your side. Before I show you what works, let me quickly run through why the common methods fail, because I know you've tried some of these. Dish soap and hot water. This works on fresh grease. Great for daily maintenance. Useless on baked-on buildup. Dish soap is a surfactant. It breaks up fats that are still in their original state. Polymerized grease is no longer a fat in the traditional sense. Dish soap looks at it and does nothing. Commercial degreasers from a spray bottle. These work, but only if you let them sit long enough, and most people spray, wait 30 seconds, and wipe. That's not how degreasers work. A degreaser needs contact time to break the chemical bond. 30 seconds on a thick carbon layer does almost nothing. And the good commercial degreasers aren't cheap. We're talking $8 to $15 per bottle. Baking soda paste with scrubbing. People love this one. I understand why. Baking soda is mildly abrasive, and the paste looks like it should work. It does remove some surface grime, but on deep baked-on grease, it mostly just scratches the top layer of carbon and leaves the bonded grease underneath completely intact. You end up with a slightly lighter shade of the same problem. Oven cleaner on burner grates. This actually works on the grease. Sodium hydroxide, lye, in oven cleaner is strong enough to break polymerized oils, but it's caustic. On cast iron grates, it can strip the seasoning. On aluminum or coated grates, it can cause permanent discoloration or pitting if left too long. And you're handling a chemical that can burn skin and eyes. For a grate, there's a safer way. The boiling water method. Some people put grates in a pot of boiling water. The heat does soften the grease slightly, but unless you're adding something to that water, you're just making the grease warm and still stuck. None of these methods use what actually works, the right chemistry applied correctly with the right contact time. Here's what you need to understand about breaking down polymerized oil. Polymerized oil is an oxidized cross-linked polymer. It's tough, but it has one weakness: alkalinity. Strong alkaline solutions break the polymer chains apart. This is the same reason lye, sodium hydroxide, works in oven cleaner. It's extremely alkaline. But you don't need something that extreme. You need something alkaline enough to do the job, safe enough to use without gloves and a gas mask, and cheap enough that you're not paying $12 every time your burners need cleaning. That combination is baking soda and vinegar used separately and in a specific order, combined with a dish soap soak in a sealed bag. Now, I know what you're thinking. I already tried baking soda and vinegar. It didn't work. You probably mixed them together. That's the mistake almost everyone makes. When you mix baking soda and vinegar together, they neutralize each other. You get a satisfying fizz, which is just CO2 gas escaping, and then you're left with a slightly salty water solution. The alkalinity of the baking soda is gone. The acidity of the vinegar is gone. You've got almost nothing left. The trick is to use them separately, in sequence, and to combine them with the right dwell time in a sealed bag with dish soap. Here's what's actually happening chemically when you do this correctly. The dish soap keeps the liquid in contact with the grate surface, rather than dripping off. The baking soda creates an alkaline environment that starts breaking the polymer chains in the grease. The vinegar, applied afterward, creates a brief acid reaction that agitates the loosened residue and helps lift it from the metal. And the sealed bag traps heat and vapor, which further softens the buildup without you having to apply any physical force. The contact time, which I'll get into in a moment, is what makes the whole thing work. This is not a spray and wipe method, it's a soak method, and the soaking is where all the work happens. The supply list is short. This is the $2 method, and that price is accurate. Baking soda. The box in your pantry works fine. You need about 3-4 tablespoons. White vinegar. Not apple cider vinegar, not cleaning vinegar, although cleaning vinegar works even better if you have it. Plain white distilled vinegar, about half a cup. Dish soap, any brand, you need about a tablespoon. Boiling water, from your kettle or a pot on the stove. Gallon-sized Ziploc bags, 1 per burner grate or cap. These are the only thing you might need to buy. A pack of 20 costs about $2 at any grocery store. Old toothbrush, for a small amount of final cleanup, no real scrubbing needed. That's the entire supply list. No specialty products, nothing ordered online. If you have a kitchen, you have most of this already. Let's go through this exactly as you should do it. Step 1. Remove and rinse the grates and burner caps. Take everything off the stove. Remove the grates, the heavy cast iron or steel racks, and the burner caps. Those are the round ceramic or metal pieces that sit directly over the burner flame ports. Rinse them under hot tap water. This isn't cleaning them, it's just removing any loose debris and pre-warming the surface so the solution works faster. Step 2. Prepare the bag solution. Into a gallon Ziploc bag, add a tablespoon of dish soap, 3 tablespoons of baking soda, a 1/4 cup of white vinegar, and enough boiling water to fill the bag about halfway, roughly 2 cups. Here is the important part. Add the vinegar and baking soda to the bag before sealing, then add the boiling water and seal immediately. The hot water activates both the alkalinity of the baking soda and accelerates the surfactant action of the dish soap. You'll see some fizzing, that's fine. That's the acid-base reaction. Seal the bag with as little air inside as possible. Press the solution against the grate. Step 3. Submerge the grate in the bag. Place 1 grate or burner cap into the bag. Push it down so it's fully submerged in the solution. If one bag isn't big enough for a large grate, use 2 bags, 1 over each end, overlapping in the middle. Lay the bags flat in your sink or on a baking tray. You want the grate fully in contact with the solution on all sides. Step 4. Wait. This is the step. For light to moderate buildup, maybe a few weeks of use without cleaning, wait 30 minutes. For heavy buildup, the grate that hasn't been cleaned in months and has that hard black crust, wait 2 to 4 hours. I know that sounds like a long time, but remember, you're not scrubbing, you're doing nothing. Let the chemistry work. For truly extreme cases, restaurant-level neglect, grates that look like they've been through a fire, leave them overnight. 8 hours in the solution and even the worst buildup comes loose. Step 5. Remove and rinse. Take the grate out of the bag, hold it under hot running water. Use your fingers or a sponge to wipe the surface. You'll see the grease and carbon sliding off the surface in sheets. No scrubbing, no force, it lifts. For any spots that don't come off on the first wipe, which is normal in heavily recessed areas like the corners of cast iron grates, use the old toothbrush. 1 or 2 passes. The residue is already loose, you're just moving it out of the groove. Step 6. Dry and reinstall. Dry the grates and caps completely before putting them back on the stove. For cast iron grates specifically, if you have any, apply a very light coat of cooking oil and heat them briefly on the stove. This prevents rust and keeps the cast iron conditioned. Reinstall everything. You're done. A few things I see people get wrong when they try this method. Not using boiling water. Warm tap water cuts the effectiveness roughly in half. The heat is part of the process. It keeps the solution active and softens the grease simultaneously. Use boiling water. Opening the bag too early. If you check at 30 minutes and the grate doesn't look clean, don't give up. Close the bag and wait longer. The buildup on a heavily used grate took months to form. Give the solution at least 2 hours on anything that's visibly thick. Using apple cider vinegar. The cleaning action is similar, but apple cider vinegar has sugars and organic compounds in it that can leave a light residue on the metal. Use white distilled vinegar. Skipping the dish soap. The dish soap is what keeps the solution clinging to the surface rather than pooling at the bottom of the bag. Without it, the grate sits in liquid, but only the submerged parts stay in proper contact. The soap creates a light coating effect that matters. Putting wet cast iron back on the stove without heating it. Cast iron rusts fast. If you've soaked cast iron grates, dry them with a towel and then put them on a warm burner for 2 to 3 minutes. The heat drives off any remaining moisture. Here's how to keep your burners clean so you're not doing a full soak every month. After cooking anything that splatters, anything with oil, sauce, or sugar, let the burner cool for 10 minutes, then do a 30-second wipe with a damp cloth or paper towel. Fresh grease wipes off with 0 effort. That 10 minutes of cooling is important. Wipe too soon and you're touching a hot surface. Wait too long and the grease starts to set. Once a week, do a quick wipe with white vinegar to remove the light residue before it has any chance to polymerize. Once a month, do a quick 5-minute soak, not 4 hours, just 5 minutes in the bag with the solution. This resets anything that's built up over the month. At that level of buildup, 5 minutes is enough. If you follow those 3 steps, you will never again deal with a grate that needs a multi-hour soak. Prevention costs 2 minutes per week. The deep clean costs you nothing but time. That's the method. No special products, no scrubbing, $2, a Ziploc bag, and the right amount of patience. If this worked for you, or if you've been fighting with your stove burners and nothing has worked until now, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below telling me how long your grates were soaking and what the before and after looked like. I read every comment. And if you've got another cleaning problem in your kitchen that's been driving you crazy, sink drain, tile grout, refrigerator coils, put it in the comments. I pick the most common problems and make a video on them. If you're not subscribed yet, hit the button. New video goes up every week. One real cleaning problem, one method that works. Next video, the inside of a microwave that hasn't been wiped in 6 months. The method takes 4 minutes and uses one ingredient you already have. The thumbnail's right there. Watch that next. See you in it.